The night 67 boys never woke up. The Kyanguli Boys High School fire tragedy, Kenya, 2001. It was supposed to be just another night, but for 67 young boys, it was the last one they would ever see. Nestled in the quiet hills of Machakos County, Kenya, Kyanguli Boys High School had once been a promising place for academic excellence. But by early 2001, the school was battling something far darker than poor exam scores. There were whispers of unrest among the students. Discontent was rising over administrative decisions, harsh disciplinary actions, and what many called unfair expulsions. The atmosphere in the school wasn't just tense, it was flammable. Then came the decision that laid the fuse. Over a dozen students were expelled under accusations of indiscipline. What no one expected was the rage it would ignite. It was a Monday night. 130 boys settled in the dormitory, hoping for a few hours of rest before another school day. Among them were Form 3 and Form 4 students, the oldest in the school. It was quiet, almost eerily so. Around 1:30 a.m., as most of the boys lay in deep sleep, someone quietly locked the dormitory's doors from the outside. Moments later, fire, vicious and merciless, erupted. The flames tore through mattresses soaked in paraffin. Smoke choked the dorm. The metal-grilled windows turned into prison bars. Panic followed. Screams pierced the air. Students clawed at the doors, battered windows, kicked walls, desperately trying to escape. But they couldn't. The exits were sealed. When the fire was finally subdued, the aftermath was unbearable. 67 bodies lay charred beyond recognition. Dozens were injured, traumatized, and scarred for life. Kenya awoke that morning to news of horror that would shake the nation to its core. Parents rushed to the school desperate for answers. Many collapsed in grief. The government promised justice. The media camped outside the school gates. Investigations were launched. President Daniel Arap Moi visited the school. He wept publicly, an extremely rare moment the entire country joined in mourning. The incident wasn't just a fire, it was a national tragedy, a symbol of broken systems, ignored warnings, and lives lost too soon. 2 students were arrested and charged with murder and arson. Prosecutors claimed they had planned the attack as revenge for recent expulsions.
Mwingine ambaye anaitwa Wilson Matata, mwingine Mteti Mulwa, 38 Mwema Sami, 30 Timothy Mtisia, 41 Josia Mwendwa, 46 Mtua Philip T Joseph Kasema, 51 Lazarus kwa sheria iko tarehe ya kutuamua kama tutapeleka koti kuu kwa shtaka la you are charged with failing to prevent a felony under section 392 of the Penal Code 24 and 20.
But in court, the case collapsed. The evidence was largely circumstantial. The boys were acquitted, And so, the mystery lingered. Who really started the fire? Why was it so easy to execute? Could the school have prevented it? No one could say for sure. But one thing was certain: the pain left behind would last for generations. In the months that followed, the Kenyan government vowed reforms in school safety. Boarding schools were ordered to improve dormitory exits. New policies were introduced to monitor student behavior and improve guidance and counseling. But the tragedy also exposed a deeper root, a system where students' frustrations were unheard, where communication between staff and learners had broken down. The Kyanguli fire wasn't just a freak accident. It was the result of neglect, of young voices ignored until they exploded. More than 2 decades have passed. The world has moved on. Many students have survived, grown up, carrying silent scars. Some parents never recovered from the loss. The memorial plaques have faded. The pain hasn't. There are still no convictions, no official apology, no justice. In a way, the boys died twice, once in the fire and again in the silence that followed. As creators, storytellers, and citizens, we have a duty to remember. To remember 67 lives that never made it out of that dormitory. To remember how broken systems failed to protect them. To remember so that nothing like this ever happens again. The smallest coffins are the heaviest, and the most painful stories are the ones we must tell, so they are never repeated. Rest in peace, the Kyanguli 67.